Before we get started, we want to state that this video has been edited for brevity. We respect your time, and we want to keep this video concise and to the point.
With this post, we're going to review the video that's calling us out clip by clip. We're going to discuss any statements or points that we feel are misleading, untrue, or unfair. We will be providing evidence where it's applicable.
We aren't doing this to be aggressive or intimidating towards Ari. We simply want to clear things up and find some resolution.
Please keep in mind there will be some discussion of triggering topics like sexual assault and rape. And by the way, if we sound robotic at all, it's because we're reading from a script, and we don't really do this that often. Please bear with us.
Finally, please watch our video and Ari's video in full before coming to any conclusions. Thank you.
I came forward about being sexually abused May 2019 by a former member of Alyssa Nature and Kitten Fight. I was instantly greeted with defensive bullshit and cold shoulders, and people that I considered my best friends in the whole world just stopped associating with me, but not my abuser.
In this clip, Ari claims that they came forward with their abuse story in May. The thing is, all of us, except for Nina, didn't hear about this.
When I was told, I was receptive and respectful of what Ari was saying. I was scheduled to tour with said abuser in the same month and was also rooming with him at the time. I explained that if I kicked out in that moment, I wouldn't be able to afford rent and would become homeless. Ari was very understanding in the moment. Ari also asked me not to share any information about their abuse with others.
Alyssa Nature heard rumors about some issues Ari was possibly facing at the time. We reached out to check up on them.
Ari vaguely stated that things weren't going well, but they were under control. It didn't sound like our business, so we didn't pry.
We're unsure of what defensive or dismissive responses Ari is referring to, but we feel we didn't respond in a way that would warrant those claims.
This went on for months before anything was done about it, and the abuser was kicked out of the band for an entirely different reason not relating to me.
So right here, Ari's claiming that Kitten Fight kicked their abuser out of our band for reasons that were unrelated to their abuse. That's simply not true. Ari was claiming that they had the situation under control, and it felt like Ari was implying that immediate lineup change was not necessary, especially with the financial situation that would ensue. We were already considering kicking out Ari's abuser for multiple reasons, but Ari's abuse story was the final straw.
We in Alyssa Nature kicked out the abuser as soon as we were made aware of the situation when being filled in by Robbie.
Ari never explicitly stated that our bass player at the time was an abuser, so we had no idea.
So soon after I came forward, rumors started going around, and people started to discuss graphic details of my abuse and called me a liar. And it started getting back to me from people I didn't even know were talking about it and talking about it with my friends. And then my friends told me about it, and I was like, what the fuck?
In this clip, Ari was stating what sounds like Alyssa Nature and Kitten Fight sharing graphic private details about their abusive situation with other people.
Ari has zero evidence to support this. That's because it's untrue. And we still don't fully know what Ari went through and have never asked Ari for specific details. That's inappropriate and cruel. We feel that it's important to note that throughout this time period, Ari was sharing lots of information about the situation they were in on social media.
It's a lot more plausible, we feel, that any rumors and gossip surrounding the abuse came from hearsay spurred from those posts, not us.
Finally, on a more ironic note, Ari has been stating that they feel their privacy was violated. Meanwhile, with this whole fiasco, Ari has been sharing a compilation of screenshots with lots of private information. Some of the screenshots even feature me explicitly and repeatedly saying I do not want these screenshots to be shared with anybody. The messages themselves were not compelling or contained any incriminating evidence to support this breach of privacy. However, we do feel our texts to Ari speak for themselves, and we're comfortable with people asking to see them with the context of our responses in mind.
November 16th, 2019, Alyssa Nature posted this apology onto their Instagram. I will read it word for word. It says, months ago, around summertime, we in Alyssa Nature realized someone in our band was problematic. When we realized this, we went on a hiatus and removed the member from our band and stopped associating with them. We do not support their behavior and have since moved on without them. If anyone has any issues with Alyssa Nature regarding the matter, feel free to reach out to us. We do not stand for this behavior of this individual and never have. Best regards, Alyssa Nature.
Ari's reading off Alyssa Nature's update post. The post was intended to only be read as a matter of fact state of affairs update and not a personal apology. Nina, Ethan, and I privately expressed warm regards and good intention to Ari, as can be seen through the screenshots we were sharing. That's why apologies weren't made. It was private and a personal matter that we didn't want to bring any more attention to. We talked with Ari privately and thought that would suffice.
So there's a few things wrong with this apology, right? So it claims that as soon as they realized that this person was problematic, they stopped associating with him, which is not true. It took them months before they stopped associating with him. He was living with them. I have let them know that this apology made me extremely uncomfortable. As they said, they never stood for this behavior. They did stand for the behavior, and they ignored what happened to me for months.
Again, to reiterate, Ari was telling us that everything was under control.
And it was also co-written by another abuser. An abuser was the one who helped them flesh out this apology, which also makes me uncomfortable.
We think we know this person that they're referring to, despite their vagueness. That person simply said to us that a statement should be made. That's the extent of their involvement. Also, they weren't called out until 4 months later. At that point, they were just another member of the music scene with no public red flags.
I would really like Alyssa Nature to delete this. It is untrue and it is hurtful to me even a year later. I would like for Alyssa Nature and a Kitten Fight to make a new apology on their social medias, apologizing for the misinformation, the mishandling of this, and to me specifically, and to let people know that if they have any questions, they can reach out to me directly.
We're a bit unsure of what misinformation Ari is referring to here. In the post, all we said was there was a lineup change because of some predatory behavior. We blocked Ari because they were being aggressive and harassing us.
And just so we're clear, if you have any questions about what Ari went through, talk to them, not us. And thankfully, though, nobody has come to us asking about explicit details of Ari's situation.
The other process of accountability I want to see is for Alyssa Nature to stop putting up their stickers all over town. They're everywhere. They're all over downtown. They are extremely triggering to see. They are extremely shitty to run into. Everywhere I go, I always find an Alyssa Nature sticker. I can't go on a walk. I can't go downtown. When I was working downtown, I didn't want to be downtown. I hated being around them everywhere I go, and hence why I made my own stickers to put up over theirs, which they keep taking down.
Nobody in illicit nature has taken down Ari's stickers. It's more likely that folks around town pick away at them the same way they pick away at our stickers.
Plus, the sticker stock Ari is using is not very weather resistant. It's unfair to say that Illicit Nature is solely responsible for some of the stickers being taken down.
So Kitten Fight and Illicit Nature have both been made aware of these accountability steps 1 full year ago in November during a community-held call-in meeting, where they were extremely rude and extremely invalidating and just horrible during the call-in meeting. We were supposed to have another follow-up call-in meeting, but that never happened because it was so stressful and it was just so unreciprocated with zero respect during the whole thing. So
the reason we were all edgy at the meeting Ari is referring to is because they had spent the past few weeks harassing everyone nonstop, including our friends, and making what we felt were false allegations.
It's also worth mentioning that Ari has a history of physically assaulting people as well. We have screenshots.
We were cautious, nervous, and we felt the meeting itself was one-sided.
We probably did get a little short and rude at times, but we were never insulting, threatening, or degrading.
We were feeling frustrated and angry. It's our music projects on the line, and we poured countless hours and a few years into them. We feel they're in jeopardy over what appears to be miscommunications.
Ari states a second meeting was planned, but that's not true. A second meeting was mentioned, but neither party followed up on it.
Several other people were involved in these harmful actions. These people are in multiple bands, so I don't have time to go through and find every band these people are in, but these people, I believe, are huge apologists and made me feel extremely uncomfortable, and I am extremely uncomfortable around these people. These people have hurt me irreparably. I feel extreme discomfort with people supporting them or their art.
What Ari is saying right here is unfortunately really vague, but they are using serious and triggering nomenclature. However, they haven't provided examples of this alleged behavior. Both of our bands have shown throughout the years that we are demonstrably against abuse. We don't know where these claims are coming from.
Please, please, please do not support these bands until they have taken these actions towards accountability. I feel like I'm not asking for that much. Like a public apology and for them to stop putting stickers up. That's what I want from them.
Ari wants an apology and for us to stop putting up stickers around town. And we feel that's reasonable. Ari, we want to apologize for the miscommunications that have happened.
We never doubted the abuse you went through. We wish we handled this more proactively.
We were unfortunately confused on the kind of support you needed.
We meant every supportive word we said when you first came forward about your abuse.
And we do hope that you find peace and healing from the abuse you endured.
I have not canceled these individuals without giving them the resources and understanding to be accountable, heal, and grow from this. The next steps are entirely theirs to make and have been for over a year now.
We think that cancellation exists to protect vulnerable communities from folks who could harm them. If a room becomes more dangerous when someone walks in, they don't belong in any music scene.
We want to do everything we can to keep Boise safe. We also don't feel that we pose any threat to any community, like Ari's verbiage implies.
What we do find strange, though, is that Ari seems to be protecting their abuser's identity. The reason being that Ari has claimed that the abuser had an effective and sincere apology. We find it strange that Ari insists on canceling us over hearsay, while they have gone to great lengths to protect the identity of their abuser, who has shown he's actually dangerous to femmes and minors. This is a super glaring double standard that isn't sitting right with us.
People who know they did nothing wrong do not try to blackmail their victims. They do not delete their comments. They do not block them. They do not talk over them. They do not message their friends that they are lying. And they do not threaten to have the police come and arrest them for talking out against their behavior. People who knew they did nothing wrong do not try to hide and scare people into not talking. This is narcissistic. They know what they did was wrong, and they will try to cover it, and they will try to make me afraid to speak out.
With all that we've shared, we're still having trouble understanding how Ari is a victim of us. We've never blackmailed Ari. It's untrue, and there's no evidence of it at all.
We deleted Ari's comments because they were being harassing, confusing, and we didn't want to come across as being argumentative. The same with the blocking situation.
It's also worth mentioning that this is the first time we've made an actual response to this situation. We're confused how anything we've done has constituted as talking over Ari.
We never threatened to get cops involved. What we think Ari is referring to is warnings from David and I.
I said the band would be forced to send a cease and desist letter if Ari kept slandering our music project. This is an important distinction to make. A cease and desist letter would not stop Ari from discussing their abuse. It would only discourage them from making false claims about us.
I warned Ari that I was considering a restraining order due to their harassment and stalking.
As far as we're aware, we've never done anything to stop Ari from speaking about the abuse they've gone through.
We just don't want them spreading false information about us. They're two totally different things.
I'm not just doing this for me, but for every femme person who has ever gone through this, every AFAB, every queer, every victim of domestic violence or abuse or rape, especially within our punk community, where that's something we're supposed to not do.
As a victim of sexual abuse, I find it extremely offensive that Ari would call me a rape apologist.
I will be there at every Illicit Nature show, and I will pass out my zines, and I will pass out my stickers. I'm not gonna back down, and I'm not gonna shut up, so you might as well get used to hearing it. I have these zines that I've made. They're $1 each, but if you can't afford one, I'm willing to work something out with you. And also, if you want to buy a bunch of them, I will discount them. And then I also have stickers that say, no abusers, no apologists in our scene. These are $1 each as well, but they are free if you cover up Illicit Nature stickers with them.
This feels weird. We understand that there's nothing wrong with Ari handing out scenes and stickers at our shows.
However, we know that Ari is trying to implicate that we somehow support abusers. As we've shown, that's false. It's a predatory and manipulative tactic they're pulling.
Plus, with Ari's history of harassment, stalking, and violence, we don't want Ari at our shows. It makes us uncomfortable.
Those are all the major claims in Ari's video.
Thank you so much for watching the whole thing and hearing both sides out.
Despite these tensions going on, we still genuinely hope that Ari heals from this situation, and we hope we can see our friends again after the pandemic improves.